be using one tennis ball or myofascial release ball, so grab that. And at the end, when we sit back on the chair for our relaxation, you might find your feet no longer touch the floor if you're vertically challenged, such as I. So I've got some blocks there so that by the time, because when we're sitting forward in sitting mountain, often the feet find the floor quite well because you're right on the edge of the sitting bones and the back of the thigh flesh doesn't kind of lift you up. But when we're sitting at the back at the end, then you might want some blocks under your bottom. Okay, let's get started. Come to sit on your chair. Have your myofascial release ball or your tennis ball near you. And as I say, your belt on the back of the chair. So we're going to find a sitting mountain. Anything you can do on a yoga mat, you can do on a chair. This is going to be a toes to the head session. So what I'm going to do is systematically work from the feet to the head, working through all the joint spaces, the major muscle groups, to kind of bring some space and clarity to your body and hopefully to your day. So everything you do to your body translates into your life. It's really incredible. You know, we store so much stuff in our body. It's untrue. Glass recycling's just come. Hope you heard that. Okay, so we are in sitting mountain, which means we're not sitting back on the chair, we're not sitting down on the chair, but we're sitting up on the chair. So I actually move right to the edge of the chair. I want to feel that my sitting bones are on the chair, but then the back of my thighs can kind of float down to the floor. But I'm stable there. I've moved the flesh around. I can really feel the sitting bones and their contact with the floor, because that's going to be my anchor. The main thing is not to front of my hip bones here. And then I'm going to glance down. I'm just going to move my heels under my knees. So I've got a right angle at the knee, right angle at the hip, and a nice right angle at the foot. And I can see my feet. And you might want to kind of turn your feet so that the second toe is pointing forward. So there's space, there's enough space for your pelvis. So I'm sitting in sitting mountain. I've arranged my pelvis. I've got this nice natural curve in my lower back. My pubic bone's rolling down. My sternum can roll up. I can really expand and open through the chest and really feel like I'm getting some space in between the collarbones, but also I want to feel some space between the shoulder blades. Often when we sit upright, we get really sturdy and we squeeze the shoulder blades in and we push our chest forward. I want to feel a broadening through the whole of the chest. So I want to feel that my shoulder blades also have some space and the collarbones have some space. I can just draw the tops of the arm bones back a little bit and let the elbows drop down under the shoulders and just settle my hands on my lap. Now, if I've gone into too much back extension, I can just press my lower back down a little bit and find that balance between the pubic bone popping back behind you. So we want a balance there so that I really feel that my anchoring is coming from the sitting bones, which as I wriggle side to side, I can really firmly feel. So sitting bones and then feet give me the grounding here. A lot of the time we're using our feet to ground us as we move forward, as we move around. Those 3 points, the pubic bone and both feet are going to be really, well, the sitting bone, sorry, and both feet are going to be really important here. So lift up the toes now, spread the toes, and think about pressing the pad of the big toe and the pad of the little toe down on the floor, as well as the heel. So you're kind of spreading those toes out. And then keep that, as if there's 3 press points, keep that and drop the toes back to the floor. And then you're going to feel that those press points of the big toe and the little toe, the ball pads of the big toe and the little toe and the heel are pressing down. It's almost like the arch of the foot is suctioning up. So you've got this really nice relationship between your feet and the floor, this downward and upward motion. So we're in our sitting mountain. Let's draw the throat back a little bit, liberate the back of the neck a bit, as if you're trying to pull the cranium bones away or the skull away from the upper back. Probably bringing the chin down and back a little bit, so that you imagine that the crown of the head is directly lined up. Focus on a fixed point on the floor in front of you, or close your eyes. And just take your awareness to your breath. Don't try and change your breath. Just feeling the stability of this mountain pose that we've spent a while finding. And this is going to be the pose from which all other poses come, just like Tadasana you would do on your mat. Sitting mountain is where everything comes from. So you can feel weight evenly right and left side. You can feel weight evenly distributed between the sitting bones and the pubic bone, between the heel and the big toe and the little toe pads. And you can feel that all the bones on the top of the body are stacked up on top of the hips. So shoulders on top of the hips, ears on top of the shoulders, crown on top of the pelvis. And then we're ready to go. So let's start by lifting our toes up, stretch the toes out as well to widen them, and then drop the toes and lift up the heels. Drop the heels, lift the toes, and this time pull the feet back towards the knees. So the heels are on the floor, you're flexing the feet. Now drop the balls of the feet, so heels and balls on the floor, then drop the toes, then lift the heels. Drop the heels, lift the toes, lift the balls, drop the balls, drop the toes, lift the heels. So there's kind of 3 movements there, but you can roll from those movements. In some ways it's very simple, you're just lifting the heels and then lifting the toes. But you can feel that there's more to it than that as you roll through those fibers on the bottom of the feet. Very nice. Okay, and then we're gonna roll the ankle. So I'm gonna just stretch my right leg forward. I'm not mirroring you, do any leg you want. I'm gonna do the right. And I wanna start to roll the ankle. So I probably need to hover the heel off the floor a little bit, rolling the ankle. If that was really difficult, you could roll in semicircles, keeping the heel on the floor. But if you are able to lift your leg off the floor, you can start rolling. And there's several ways you can work here. If you wanted to work on core and thigh strength, you could lift your leg up and just let it hold itself up and roll the ankle. And that will be obviously working your core, working your thigh. If you wanted to take hold underneath the foot, that leg, you're not really working your thigh, you're just squeezing in. And if you can't reach there, you could also use your belt and just rolling your leg like that. Okay, and then we're going to flex and point, flex and point, flex and point. And you can also, if you're holding your leg, swing your heel forward and flex, and then point as you drop the leg down. You can also do this with no hands. Obviously, it's going to be the harder version. Keeping upright here is going to mean that your abdominal muscles and your lower back muscles are working, and your thigh muscle. If you hold the leg close to you and keep your chest lifted, then you're going to be working the fibers in the back of the leg. So find what works for you, and then just come to a really easy going holding of the leg without flexing or pointing. We're just kicking a few times. And then you're going to stretch your heel forward and your leg straight. Hinge from the hips, come forward a little bit. So I'm pressing on my left foot, and then I'm going to just rub the sides of my knee. And then I'm going to take my thumbs and I'm going to go like stretch the fibers open under the bottom of the kneecap, then move my thumbs up towards the top of the kneecap, cross them over to the opposite side, and then move to the bottom. So I'm actually just making circles. Both thumbs are making circles around the kneecap, and they're kind of going in opposite directions to each other. So they meet at the bottom and at the top of the kneecap. And I'm pressing in quite firmly around that kneecap. And then I'm going to bring that foot back to sitting mountain. Have a breath in sitting mountain. And then I'm going to start with the other leg. So I start with the ankle roll. Remember, you can do it low. You can do it high using your core. You can bend the leg and do it low. You can let the leg hang. Try and just isolate the ankle rather than the leg, just the ankle. Pointing and flexing. Today, what you want to work on, what feels good, and then in a very lazy way, kicking the leg forwards and backwards. Very nice. And then placing that heel down on the floor in front of you, hands on the hips, hinge forward, so chest lifting forward and up, so that you can bend forward, press down on your right leg, and that will stabilize you as you rub your left leg. So palms of the hands either side of the kneecap. I'm really feeling heat here. And then I'm going to use my thumbs to circle. So I'm kind of doing this circle movement with my thumbs. You probably can't see that. Anyway, just massage around the kneecap and you'll be fine. Very nice. And then bring that leg back to sitting mountain. Have a breath. Very nice. Okay, so now take one of your balls. Myofascial release balls are kind of rubbery and sticky. And tennis balls are obviously a tiny bit bigger and furry, so they have a tendency to roll away. But it doesn't matter. If it rolls away, that's just fun, right? So we're going to start by having the ball underneath your foot. Now, if you can, rest your heel on the floor, and the ball is going to rest right in the center. So if you imagine this is my foot, it's the center long ways and the center sideways. Any point in the middle there, I'm going to just lean forward and press. So as I lean forward, I'm hinging from the hips. My hands are on that thigh of the foot that the ball is on. And I'm just applying pressure. I can lean forward. As I lean back up again, I'm releasing the pressure. As I lean forward, I'm intensifying that pressure. So we don't want to go too do. But if I don't go far enough, I'm not doing anything. So I'm finding medium pressure. And then once I've gone and trying to rest, as if the foot is swallowing up the ball. Usually a few deep breaths, or at least extending the out breath a little bit, provokes that relaxation response. And then I come back from that, and now I'm going to position the ball so that the ball of my foot is on the floor and the actual ball is under the heel pad. So it's just, instead of under the center of the heel, it's that spot where the heel becomes the sole. I don't know if you can see that, but it's the kind of, you could say the top of the heel if you're looking at the foot like this, or in front of the heel. So you're just on that spot. The ball of your foot is on the floor. The myofascial ball is under that spot at the top of the heel, and you're doing the same thing. Lean and release. And don't be surprised if some points are more talkative than others. And don't be surprised if one side is more talkative than the others. If you don't feel anything, lucky you. If you feel those, just back off, because it's medium pressure. Again, it's subjective. You might not even need to lean forward. So don't do anything that's going to hurt you or compromise you. So now I've done in front of the heel. You could do a couple on right underneath the heel. Sometimes that is okay. Sometimes that's a bit too intense. You can see. And then we're going to move the ball so that it's under the ball of the foot. So it gets very confusing when you talk about balls and balls of feet. But if you can see what I'm doing, the heel is on the floor. My myofascial release ball is under the ball of my foot, and I'm just twisting my foot from side to side so that the myofascial release ball is pressing into the ball of all of the pads of my feet, one side and the other. And I can see if I do it very slowly and stop in between each one, then I can kind of see maybe each knuckle popping up and becoming white. And again, it's medium pressure. You want an even pressure as you go. And then what we're going to do is press from the ball to the heel, release, kicking the ball back, so no pressure, and then adding pressure as I roll from the ball of the foot to the heel of the foot. So it's just, the ball is pushing back as my foot rolls forward. And then I just reposition the ball. And I can start in the middle, so kind of middle line, but I can also, if I'm getting quite good at that and my ball hasn't rolled to the other side of the room at this point, then I could try and go from big toe, second toe, middle toe, fourth toe, and it gets kind of harder. There's speed bumps and little toe. But I've done all that, and then I'm going to do scribbling. Now, scribbling is hardly any pressure at all. So this is very surface movement, scribbling over the whole of the bottom of the foot, and that's just cleaning up the lymph. Okay, set the foot down, keep the ball near, come back to sitting mountain, have a breath, see how that feels. Good, just noticing. It's always really important to have a spot of time in between. Okay, so we're going to do all of those points again on the other side. So I started at the center of the foot, heel on the floor. I can hinge forward, press and release. So we're right in the center between the toes and the heel, and we're right in the center between the big toe and the little toe sides of the foot. We press and release. As I come forward, I'm adding pressure because my weight's going further down. As I sit back, I'm relieving pressure. So don't just do it all by your foot pressing down, because then your foot's having to work, and we want the foot to be relaxed. We're just adding more compression. And then if that worked well and you can hold for a few breaths, then go ahead. If it's too much to hold, then keep going forward and backwards. And then we're going to come to the point that's right in front of the heel pad, so where the heel becomes the sole and the toes are on the floor. And again, I'm going to press and release a few times. You could exhale as you press, inhale as you release. And you could also do right under the heel. Now this is sore for some people, so you don't have to do this one. You don't have to do any of it. You can go back to bed and just watch. Actually, if you just watch all of this stuff and visualize it, it still has quite a remarkable effect on your body. Okay, and then we're going to do the ball of the foot. So the heel, my heel is now on the floor. Let me come and see if I can show you better. Heel is on the floor, and I'm just squishing the ball from side to side. So from my big toe, the ball of the big toe, all the way to the ball of the little toe. So I'm just kind of moving my foot side to side, and it's pressing on those points. And if I was to do it really slowly, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe, I'd see the little knuckles popping up and becoming white. And then we do rolling. So I'm going to roll from the ball to the heel. Pressure as I roll my foot forward and the ball back. No pressure as I come back. So it's like I'm trying to squeeze from the toes back to the heart. I was thinking about the effect I'm having on the circulatory system. I'm actually moving everything back and up to the heart. Oh, lovely. And you can again try doing the 5 little lines. It's harder, but you could try big toe ball to heel, second toe ball to heel, third toe ball to heel, fourth toe ball to heel, and it's hard, but the fifth toe ball to heel, and then scribbling. Very light pressure, scribbling, really hardly any pressure at all. Scribbling all over the bottom of the foot. And then set your foot down, come back to sitting mountain. Nice breath just to let your body observe that and translate that back into your nervous system. Very nice. Okay, so we're going to take our legs a bit apart now. So kind of in a triangular shape, maybe a V shape or an L shape. And the knees are pointing where the toes are pointing. And it's just giving me a bit of space so that with my hands on my thighs, I can make some circles on my pelvis. So in terms of what's going on with the weight, I'm moving the weight from over the right foot, over the left foot, over the left sitting bone and the right sitting bone. Right foot, left sitting bone, right sitting bone. So just making nice circles as if you're kind of trying to liberate the whole of the body and the pelvis. And you can link this with the breath if you wanted to. You could breathe in as you do the semicircle forward and breathe out as you do the semicircle back, or whatever you want. And then you can go the other way, so go the other direction. And keep the feet pressing into the floor, especially as you move forward. And you want to feel that the pubic bone is kind of free to make its circle. It's pointing down, it's going to the side. So as I move my pelvis forward, my pubic bone's dropping down, and I've got a big curve in my lower back. Then the pubic bone is dropping up, the hip bones are moving towards my chest, and my lower back is kind of a bit flatter. So I want you to imagine that the whole of the pelvis is rolling forwards and back. And then once it gets this message, the upper back starts to do the same thing. So as the pubic bone rolls forward, the shoulders roll back, the chest opens and the shoulder blades squeeze together. And as the pelvis rolls back, I can stretch my arms forward and open the space between the shoulder blades. So just have a few of those. I can inhale as I open the chest. I can exhale as I close the chest. And then coming back to sitting mountain. Very nice. Okay, so let's get the belt now, or the sock, or the tie. And you're going to stretch your right leg out, bring the heel on the floor, and you're going to take your belt like a lasso and just catch it. And then you can bend the knee then and see if you can pick the leg up. And once you've picked the leg up, just have a good fun, what would you call this? I don't know, zigzagging the belt under the bottom of the foot. This is really nice. I mean, it's quite good if you've got dry skin on your feet. You're using your own belt and your own yoga mat. There's nothing to worry about here. You can exfoliate your feet. But also, you're waking up all the fascia on the bottom. So you're going to finish with the belt over the ball of the foot. And then you can make sure you're sitting up nicely. You can stretch your leg as much as you want. It might be straight, it might be bent. It might be high, it might be low. You're going to stretch it so that you feel just a tiny bit of resistance. Lift the chest, draw the shoulder blades back. I'm taking the belt in my right hand, so I've got my right leg, my right hand. Left hand can be on my hip so that I can start to open that shoulder, open that chest. Now if you want to, and you may have to bend to get there, you can take your leg open as far as you want, leg bent, leg straight, leg high, leg low, whatever you want. So now I've opened the hip, keep the left leg pushing down. Keep that left chest opening up, and if you want to, take the left hand out. If you want to even, you could look towards your left thumb. All optional. Just do what feels good, skip what doesn't feel good. Bring the head back, bring the hand back, pressing on that left foot, bending the leg if you need to, come back. Now press that leg forward, take the belt into the left hand. And what we're going to do is keep pressing that right leg forward, but we're going to twist the rib cage a little bit to the right. And I'm going to take my right hand and place it on the back of the chair behind me. I'm going to now try to draw the right chest back, the right shoulder blade back, and I can turn my head to the right. My right leg is only pressing forward though, it's not twisting, it's not going to the left. And I'm going to bring my head back, bring my chest back, bend the leg, release the leg, back to sitting mountain, deep breath. And then send the left leg forward, heel up, and then we're going to catch it, lasso. I failed, lasso. Okay, put some tug on the belt, bend the knee and lift that leg up and start to exfoliate your skin and your fascia. This is good. I've invented fascia exfoliation today. I'm on fire today. Quite literally, it's quite hot. Okay, I've exfoliated. I'm going to bring the belt onto the ball of the foot. I'm going to take the belt, both sides of the belt, into my left hand, left foot, left hand. Right hand's going to come to my hip, and then I'm going to find how I can sit up and stretch the leg forward and come as high or as low as I want with the leg as bent or as straight as I want. So I'm feeling some resistance. I'm going to take a breath here. And now I can open my left leg to the left. I might want to bend it as I move and then maybe re-straighten it. I've then got to draw the right chest back. I could take the right arm out to the right. I could even look to the right. Take a breath. I'm going to bring my head back. I'm going to bring my hand back, and then maybe bending as I move, I'm going to bring my left leg back and stretch it forward. I'm going to keep it stretching forward. I'm going to take my right hand, take both sides of the belt of my right hand. Left hand can come onto the hip, or it can reach to the back of the chair. So this time my left shoulder, my left chest is going to open, my rib cage is going to turn, and my head can look to the left. All the time the left foot is pushing forward. Nice breath here. Then I'm going to bring my head back to center, my chest back to center. I'm going to bend the leg, and I'm going to release the leg back to sitting mountain. Taking a breath. Lovely. I can feel my heart rate lifting from that. Okay, so what are we doing next? We're going to start to stretch the sides. So we're working up the body. It's a toes to head session. I'm halfway up at halfway point, so that's good. We're going to start with the side body. So I'm going to start with the lower bit of the side body. Imagine between the lower ribs and the hip. Hands down, feet pressing firmly into the floor. And you might want to suck in your belly, not just at the front, but all the way around, as if you're doing up a belt, as if you're just kind of, you've done up one notch of your belt, because that'll help stabilize. And what you're going to do is just take one hand at a time and reach it towards the floor. Now we're not falling off the chair. We're pressing the feet into the floor. The sitting bones are pressing into the floor. If you've got chair legs, you could maybe slide your hands down and up the chair legs. Inhale as you come up, exhale as you go down, and inhale as you come up. Very nice. And then come back to sitting mountain. Now to add in the top portion of the side body, first I want to open the shoulders. So I'm going to bring the hands onto my shoulders. I'm going to inhale as I bring the elbows together and up. And I'm going to exhale as I take them back and down. And I'm just going to do 3 of those. Inhale, together and up. Exhale, back and down. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. And then I'm going to do 3 the other way around. So as I inhale, take the elbows back and up. And as I exhale, together and down. And I'm just starting to make some space between the side ribs and kind of start to get those shoulder blades gliding so that I can do the next piece of the side puzzle without some resistance. Very nice. Hands come down. Slight costume change, the bikini. Hands down. So now we can add the top part of that portion. How high you bring the hands up. So you exhale, you bring them down. What we're trying to do is lengthen the whole of the side body. As we inhale, we lengthen. As we exhale, we imagine we're keeping that length and we're just dropping the arms. But the inhale really helps you to lift everything up. Again, you can go as high as you want with the inhale. As you exhale, keep hold of that height and drop the hands. Now inhale the arms up again, doesn't matter where they go. And as you exhale, keep the left hand up, drop the right hand down and reach over with the left hand. Then inhale, bring the right hand back up, drop the left hand, and as you exhale, reach the right arm over. And then we can just keep going like that in a rainbow. As you exhale, you're reaching. As you inhale, you're lifting. And now you can feel that that top part of the side body, where the ribs are, is having a nice little stretch. One more time. Inhale, just follow the breath. Exhale. Now inhale, come back to center, and exhale, hands down. Now, I'm going to grab a block. If you haven't got a block, you've got to imagine you've got a beach ball in your hands. So I'm going to have the block, palms of the hands on the sides of the block. I'm going to take the block up as high as I can. It might be here, it might be here, it might be here. Take it up as much as you can. And this time, you're going to really anchor your feet, pull in that belt, and you're going to take the block or your imaginary beach ball down to one side as you exhale, and as you inhale, you're coming up. So now we spent time opening that side. What you're doing now is strengthening it. You're making it work against gravity, which is quite hard work. Exhale and inhale. One more time, exhale and inhale. exhale, keep pulling in that belt, and inhale, and then exhale, bring that block back. Take a breath. Very nice. Okay, next bit. Bring the hands on the shoulders. Bring the elbows up as high as you can, doesn't matter how high. Just going to see how it goes. Hands on the shoulders, feet grounded, sitting mountain, so I can feel my sitting bones on the chair, pubic bone rolling forwards. All I'm going to do, very minimal movement, is just move one elbow back, one elbow forward. Or if the elbows are down, rather than going like that, we're kind of thinking about twisting the sternum very slightly off to a diagonal, right and then left. So tiny bit of twisting. We're not trying to pull, we're trying to just loosen the parts of the back really close to the vertebrae. So very small movements, just preparing for our twist, but also loosening up the fascia on the upper back. Very nice. Hands down, sitting mountain, deep breath. Moving up to the chest now. I'm going to do some twists. So we can start by taking the right hand onto the outside of the left leg and the left hand behind us. Turn the sternum a little bit. It probably won't turn all the way, hopefully, unless you're kind of a doll. And then we can look to the left, or we can keep the head towards where the sternum is. So if there's any neck problems, don't worry about the head. Let the head face where the sternum is. And you probably want to keep your chin tucked in a little bit. So if you are looking, look down at the floor. And then inhale to center, and exhale, go to the other side. So you can have the left hand on the opposite side of the right knee. Don't use that hand to pull the leg. Keep the leg actually pushing, the outside of the leg pushing into the hand. So there's some action going on in the leg. Sternum moving, right chest opening back. And then coming back to center. Okay, exhale, twisting to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, twisting to the right. Inhale to center. Now you can make this a little bit bigger if you want. As you exhale here, maybe as you inhale to center, you draw the hands up in front of you and exhale them down. Inhale, center, exhale down. You can even take your arms all the way up as you inhale. Chest to center, palms facing forward. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. So that the arms are just floating. I'm not tugging on my shoulders. It's just if my arms happen to float up, I can float them up. Now I've come to my left to twist. And I'm going to stay there. I'm going to bring my left hand onto my hip. I'm going to draw my left chest back. And all I'm going to do is lean my right elbow down towards my right thigh. Might be too far away, might not make it to the thigh, that's fine. Then I'm going to come back up to my twist. I'm going to inhale to center, and I'm going to exhale to the other side. Right hand comes onto the hip, left elbow leans onto left thigh. Then I come back up, I inhale to center. So with the breath, it goes exhale. Hang on, does it go exhale? Inhale, I'm going to position my left hand. Exhale, I'm going to reach. Inhale, I'm going to come back. Exhale, I'm going to drop my hand and inhale. Exhale, inhale to position the right hand. Exhale to lean. Inhale to come back. Exhale to drop the hands and inhale up. Now you can make that bigger if you want. As you exhale, you twist. As you inhale, you lift your left arm. And as you exhale, you reach. As you inhale, you reach up. And as you exhale, you drop that hand. As you inhale, arms up, chest to center. Exhale. Inhale, lift that right arm. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lift that arm. Exhale, drop. And we'll do one more time. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, and then bring the hands down to the heart. And then drop the hands into sitting mountain. And just think about what's going on there, how that's changed. You can usually feel it with the breath. You can slight costume change with the old bikini. Feeling into the breath, into how you're sitting. Okay, we're ready to work a little bit higher up. So we brought the energy all the way up to here. Now I'm going to start to work with the upper chest now. So I'm going to go to cactus. So your cactus might not look the same as yours. What I'm trying to do is take the backs of my hands back, the elbows back, and lift the elbows in line with the shoulders. Doesn't matter how far you get in any of these. I'm trying to squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Okay, I'm going to inhale here because that's naturally what I want to do as my chest opens. And as I exhale, I'm going to bring my elbows and palms towards each other. As I inhale, I'm going to come back to cactus. Cross and take hold of the arms. Okay. And then I'm going to inhale to cactus. Exhale, crossing. So if you're going to cross left elbow on top of right, you can add on a little twist to the right. Come back to center. Inhale. So let's do all of that. Inhale here, cactus. Exhale, hands together or crossing. Twist to the right. Back to center. Cactus. Or you're crossing, so as you exhale, you cross left on top of right, you twist to the right, you come back to center, and you cactus. Other side then, exhale, you can either come together or twist right on top of left, inhale, cactus, exhale, palms together or cross right over left, and then even twist to the left. Okay, inhale, cactus, twist, the side. One more time. Inhale, cactus. Arms in eagle, twist to the left. Very good. Inhale. So we added a little thread the needle in there as well. So now come back and just feel into that. Getting energy right into the top of the chest. And that really enables you to breathe up there as well. We'll take the hands behind us now onto the chair. You can either have the hands on the side of the chair, or if you can turn the hands back, if you're able to do that, that's great. Press them, it's also great if you can't do them, I must say that. So press them onto the chair, bend the elbows and just sit back into the chair a little bit. Now when I do this, my elbows touch the back of the chair, and I like that because I can use that to then keep the elbows pushing back, squeeze the shoulder blades and lift my chest up. If my hands were on the side of the chair, I'd bend the elbows, lifting the chest. So however you are doing it, you're basically having a stretch on the top of the chest, shoulder blades squeezing into each other and lifting the chest up. So don't make it all in the lower back, don't make it all in the neck. Find some way of doing this that you really feel that upper chest opening. Very nice. Come back to neutral spine, come back to sitting mountain. You can have a very gentle cat-cow here. I mean, that was a back bend, so you don't want to go into a really strong forward bend here, but just a little bit of movement, very gentle movement here. Maybe a very gentle twist, just to neutralize all that. Very good. So let's now do a little bit of hand massage. Take your myofascial ball, take it into the palms of your hands, interlink the fingers. So the thumbs are up. If you can interlink the fingers. If you can't interlink the fingers, just keep the fingers up. And what you're going to do is press the ball in between your palms. So it's like what we were doing with the feet. We had the ball in the center of the feet, and we're pressing the hands in towards each other and releasing. Press and release. So this is also working your pecs, as you can feel, as you press the hands in towards each other. You feel that this area is contracting, and you're also breaking some of that nice, well, not breaking, but loosening, communicating with some of that fascia. And then think about the ball of the thumb, and just angle the ball, your myofascial ball, so that it's squeezed between those thumb pads. And again, press the ball, press and release into those thumb pads. And then you want to kind of think about moving in circles across you're moving across the bottom of the hand, not where the wrist is, but just the bottom of the hand, in a kind of smiley face. You're just moving one hand at a time, so the fingers are interlinked, and you're just pressing that ball, I don't know if you can see anything really, across the bottom of that palm. And that just kind of loosens up all of those tight attachments, especially the big thumb. The thumb pads, they get very tight. You can even do some circles over the thumb pad there. It's quite nice using a ball. If you've got a ball at your office desk, then you should do this quite a lot. It's really fun. Put the ball down, have the palms turned up, and just take a breath. So now we come up to the neck, and we're just going to do some very simple stretches, dropping the chin down, keep the chest lifted. Exhale here, and to the other. As you exhale, turn the chin, turn the whole head to one shoulder. Don't force it. As you inhale, back to center. As you exhale, go to the other side. As you inhale, back to center. As you exhale, drop the chin down. As you inhale, center. As you exhale, ear to shoulder. As you inhale, center. As you exhale, ear to the other shoulder. You might still feel those hands zinging. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, turning the head. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn the head again. Inhale, center. One more time. Exhale, down. Inhale, center. Exhale, ear to shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, ear to the other shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn. Inhale, center. Exhale, turn. Other side. Inhale, center. Very nice. And just again, sitting mountain, just observing what's happening in the whole body. Remembering we started with the toes, we loosened up the ankles, the shins and the calves, the knees we massaged, the thighs we strengthened, the hips. Then we did the lower back, we did the twisting, the side stretching, the upper back, the twisting, the side stretching, and then the chest with our arms and shoulders stretches, and the neck and the hands. So now we're going to actually come to like quite a strong position, but we've warmed up the whole body. We're going to come to the side of the chair. So I'm going to turn to the left side, and I'm going to sit on the left side, but then I'm going to let my right buttock kind of hang off. So as I lean forward, I'm going to lean my weight onto the left leg, make sure that my left heel is under my left knee, and I'm going to stay leaning forward here. My right foot can come back just a little bit, toes on the floor, heel up. Or as I lean forward, I might be able to take that right knee back so that it's under the hip. Or as I lean forward, I might be able to take those toes right back. But I don't want to straighten the leg here, but I want to keep the knee bent so that I can then see if I can press the left leg into the floor and come up straight. So if you straighten your leg there and you try and come up, you'll find it's all in your lower back. So bend the knee, straighten the spine, press the left foot into the floor, lift the chest. Then you could always try and straighten that leg if you want to. But you'll find you're getting an opening in the front of that hip and the abdomen here. If the leg's straight and I come up, I'm not getting an opening here, I'm just getting a closure in the back. So nice open position. I can keep my weight forward, I can keep my hand on my left foot. Certainly if I'm not stable. Hands on the shoulders, the head, I might be able to take the arms right up. Then I might even be able to take hold of the right wrist with the left hand and reach my upper body over to the back of the chair. And that's just kind of making this whole stretch even more, from the back foot all the way up to to the right fingertips. Rights and lefts have gone now. Let's come back down through all those stages. Lean forward, hands on that left thigh. I can then bend that left knee, and I need to come in stages so that it's safe to come back to sitting mountain on the side and then come back to the center. Sitting mountain in the center before we go to the other side. Deep breath. Done really well. This is going to be the whole body stretch, and it's a back bend because, you know, we spend a lot of the time in a forward bend. So we're going to go to the other side. I'm going to turn to my right side. Right foot, I'm going to lean forward, make sure my right foot is sitting mountain. Right heel under right knee. I'm going to lean forward, both my hands on the right thigh, and I'm going to take my left toes back. So left toes will come back, I sit up, I analyze, is that where I'm going to be today? Or I can lean forward, see if I can get my knee under my hip, come back up, see if that's where I am today. Both sides might be different, I might take it all the way back, but keep that knee bent as I come up. So just work out where that back foot's going to go, then come up as much as you can. And if you are able to push the right foot into the floor and lift the chest away from the floor, you may be able to bring the hands on the chest or the shoulders or the head. Wherever you are, it's absolutely brilliant. Stretch the arms up. If you want to have an extra stretch for the upper body as well as the lower body, you can take hold of the left wrist with the right hand, reach up and over towards the back of the chair. And what I like to do is just I'm resting my right ear and my right upper arm so that my neck's not trying to do any work. Reach the arms up. I'm going to bring my hands down in reverse. I'm going to lean forward, press into my right foot, and I have to come out in stages so that I can find sitting mountain. It's a bit of a wonky mountain, so I'm going to come straight back to the center, find my sitting mountain. And all I'm going to do is just stretch my right leg out, press on my left thigh as I slide my right hand down my right leg. Slide it up again. And then change. Left heel out, left leg straight, pressing down on my right leg as I slide down to the foot. Slide back up again. Back to sitting mountain, maybe a little bit of cat and cow. Very nice. So for the last little bit, we're going to sit back on the chair. So this is where I said maybe you'll want some blocks under your feet. I like to have blocks on my feet so that I can sit back. When I sit back, my knees and hips are in line. And if I didn't have the blocks, my feet would just be kind of hanging, and I don't want that. And make a very long sausage. And this will just help you sit. So take your bottom back, and then you can have a curve in your lower back. This chair is supporting my middle back. You might have support between your shoulder blades, but you can sit back on your chair, take the blanket behind your neck, and then under your arms. And then with your hands in your lap, your neck gets this amazing bit of support. So I'm in sitting mountain, but I'm resting. Sometimes you can cross this over. This works for other people, doesn't work for me. But that's an option too. I find just tucking it under my arms, it helps to open my arms, and it also means that I could sit, and I could even fall asleep here, and my neck wouldn't do that kind of thing that happens on the plane. So I'm in my sitting mountain. I'm actually going to drop my hands, which isn't that easy now. I've put my blanket here, but that's okay. They're dropped, and the elbows are just resting on the blanket, so that's quite comfy. And what I want to do, just moving into the head now, I'm going to just let my fingertips drop towards the floor. And as I inhale, I'm going to take my awareness to my left fingertips. And I'm going to inhale all the way from the left fingertips up the arm, over the shoulder, up into the space between my eyebrows. So obviously this is a visualization. Do it how is comfortable for you. I'm actually going to loosen that roll for a minute while I do this breathing practice. So it's actually giving me numb hands, which isn't great. So I'm just going to leave the blanket there. I'll use it again for Nidra. So my arms are down. I'm going to inhale from the left fingertips up to the space between my eyebrows. And then I'm going to exhale down the other side. So from the space between my eyebrows all the way down to my right fingertips. And then as I inhale, I'm going to come up from right fingertips all the way to the space between the eyebrows. And as I exhale, I'm going to come back down the left side. So you imagine it like a triangle. I'm going up the left side and then down the right side. And then I kind of come up the right side and down the left side. So I just want you to do that a few breaths. If you can breathe with the mouth closed through the nose, that's great. If not, you could try breathing in with the mouth closed, and then you might have to breathe out through the mouth, that's fine. Or if it's completely blocked and unavailable to you, just breathe how you breathe. It's lasted you this long. And you don't need to change the breath. You might find that just concentrating on the breath in this pattern, the breath might naturally slow down. But don't force it. And I know that if you were sliding down a mountain, you would go quite fast. And if you were going up a mountain, you'd go quite slow. But let's see if we can go up the mountain nice and slow. Nice, not fast, just up the mountain normally. It's a bad analogy. And then as we come down the mountain, as we exhale, let's see if we can go slowly. And you might find that you can block your throat a little bit as you exhale, just so that it's making a little sound in the back of the throat, and that will mean that you can exhale a bit slower. I don't want you to get panicked or feel like you're running out of breath or be uncomfortable in any way. But if it's accessible, if it feels good, then slow the out breath down. You can also have a pause at the top of the mountain, just to look at the view. Inhale, nice and slow up the mountain. And before you exhale, if there's a moment, if there's a chance, just stop and enjoy the view, enjoy the sensation, and then go down the mountain the other side, nice and slowly. Back up that side. You know the direction now. So we're adding little pause at the top of the mountain. You also have the option of adding a pause at the bottom of the mountain. So when the out breath is finished, just before you're going to climb up that same side of the mountain from the fingertips to the third eye, you could have a pause there. It's harder, but it's possible, even if it's a moment of stillness. And I want you to finish when you've breathed out through the left side, from the third eye to the left fingertip. So we've done a whole round, we've completed our mountain expedition. And then you can come back to that relaxation position if you wanted to. Take that blanket under your arms, bring your hands into your lap. Now I've got my hands turned up here because my shoulders are nice and open. I've got the support of my neck, the back of my head on that neck roll. And I just feel like with all this opening, my palms are turning up, and that is about receiving and just being open. So I can close my eyes here, or I can just gaze at a fixed point in front of me if I want to do meditation with my eyes soft. If it's safe for you to close your eyes and you feel balanced and stable on your chair, then you can do that. And we're just going to run through all of the spaces we've created in our session together. So we started at the toes. We lifted and lowered the toes. And then we flexed and pointed the feet. So we made some space in the ankles. We rolled the ankles. Straightened and bent the legs. So we made some space in the knee. We did some massage at the knee. We activated the thighs and the back of the thighs. And then we did some pelvic rolls with our legs a little bit open, and we made some space in the hips. So as I'm mentioning these things that we did, let your awareness travel back in time to those exercises we did, and then integrate the sensation of how those joint spaces feel now. So we loosened up the pelvis. We added a little bit of twist and opening in the hips by using the belt, taking the leg to the side, and also twisting away from the belt. So breathe all that sensation into the hips now, and then moving to the abdomen and the lower back. We started with some low twists, low side stretches, stretching the hand down, the chair leg and back. And we did some shoulder rolls to wake up the rib cage and the shoulder blades, so that then we could do some lengthening of the side body, arms overhead as we inhaled, keeping that length, arms down as we exhaled. And then we reached from side to side, making a rainbow with our arms. So with your awareness on the side body, integrate that sensation. And then we built up some strength in the side body with our blocks or our beach ball, reaching side to side. Take in that strength. And we liberated our upper back with our little rib cage, twisting side to side. And then we twisted from side to side. Some of us were floating the arms up in between each side. And then we added a side bend to the twist. We twisted and we leaned to the opposite side, just to integrate all of the directions of the fibers in the abdomen and the upper chest. And then we moved up to the shoulders and the arms. We did cactus, we did thread the needle, we did eagle arms. And then we did our neck. We also did some fish there, stretching open the chest. We did neck exercises. And we put all together with this high lunge, stretching the front of the whole of the body from toes up to the head. And then we moved up into the brain and we did our alternate nostril, visualizing the sides of the mountain. And then we're here in an effortless relaxation position where everything is integrated. You can feel the spaces of the body open, stable, relaxed, but strong, focused, but calm, energized, completely at peace. And this is how I want to leave you for the rest of your day, wherever you are, whenever you're doing this. Maybe you're not doing this today, maybe you're So whenever you're doing this, the time is now. And this is your chair yoga, toes to head. I wish you the best day. It's never too late to start again. Have a lovely day, guys, and I'll see you next time.